Greetings and welcome. Thank you for stopping by here on TikTok Live at the one and only Raw, Rare, and Real, Tried and True. Bloom from within love. I go by Bloomy. And happy Friday, whatever time it is as you're logging in live here this glorious Friday, August the 5th, 2022, wherever you're on the globe. And this is not a reading, so I just want to go ahead and put that out there. This is one of the many little spurts I do with you all here and there. Okay. I will be uploading some more of the archives. I think I've already uploaded the last two that we've done, but then I'm going into the archives to give you guys more information on like stuff that's going on now. But I'm going to dig deep, things that are relevant as I'm guided, and it's going to be kind of fascinating to see. I will put the link in the video as I upload it so you guys can look at both, the reload, the re-upload, and then the original upload date so you guys can kind of look at that and go, oh, okay, wow, right? Anyway, that's not what this is about. This is me just sharing my stance on the matter. My stance on the matter. On the matter of what? On the matter of any spiritual belief system and religion. Any spiritual belief system and religion. And I literally mean any that we know currently on earth, that any of us have come to know on earth, any form of spirituality or religious belief system. My stance on the matter. I'm going to share that because, well, in the industry that I'm in, it's a mixed bag. Everybody's got a different view, and readers get certain reps, but hell, what I've learned that shit, everybody get reps because I didn't see it all. But anyway, I digress. So my stance, oh, I'm already being bad, Lord have mercy. My stance on the matter is just this. Okay, now please take this as it resonates for you. Okay, because my personal position is just that no one should be forced to view something in a way that they simply don't view it at that time. That includes me or you. So if this is not where you are currently at, this is not meant to be forced upon you. Okay, but this is meant to simply share where I am at, especially for individuals that have these tendencies to ask these questions, but don't have the boldness to, and just assume things. And so that's kind of why I do it. Okay. So me personally, I how do I say that? I'm gonna be on the 100. I'm just gonna do it like that. Fuck it. Okay. I have a problem, collective, or whoever you are coming in here at any given point. I have a problem with anything that perpetuates any type of a bullying energy. I have a problem with any belief system, whether it's spirituality, organized religion. I have a problem. My stance on the matter is that nobody has the right to intrude on no one. No one has a right to bully. No one has a right to invade. No one has a right to try to interfere in any person's path or journey, no matter what. That's my belief about religion and spirituality. I feel like when people start crossing into that other gray area shit, whether they're in spirituality or religion, then they're already, to me, they're in ego. They're already operating from their lower mind, and they can have all of the artifacts they want. They can have all of the skill they want. They can have all of the books they want. But if they're violating someone, for me is I'm more interested. Some people will even ask me, because see, I have, I've been on dates, you guys. Hello. I can't say I've been on many, since I've been on this part of the journey, because I don't have time for that. And ain't nobody touching me, and I ain't into that, and I'm real funny now. But anyway. But, people do bring it up. And so what I've learned is I smile every single time I hear it, because it's a program. And then a lot of people get their false pious energy by thinking that they're associated to a certain kind of a belief system or spirituality. But my question of the hour is, this is my stance. I'm not even interested in what you say you believe. I'm interested in your character and how you treat me. Period. And I think that attitude has awakened me and opened my eyes to a whole lot in life. Because it's like, who cares? Like, I'm not impressed, even in the realm of spirituality and things that I do. So you see where I'm going? So it's not bias. It's whatever system of beliefs, whatever people are, labels they're slapping on themselves, whatever they call themselves, for whatever reason. I'm not impressed, because I've sat across many tables and watched people who profess many things to do some pretty fucked up shit and pretend like they don't. So I'm not impressed by all of that stuff. My stance is, fuck that, okay? Because we got people who blew up buildings talking about God told them to. So fuck that. What is your character? Not your fake one for InstaFake and Facebook. How do you treat me? Because see, it ain't even about all the people you're sitting there across the table while you try to tell me you're so wonderful. It's, how are you? I'm going to gauge you. What kind of experiences am I personally having with you, period? That's my interest. Because if there's any divinity in there, then it's going to come out in that. Not in a label, not in any certain affiliation and association with any group or organization, religion, or spirituality, not in any list of rules and regulations and routines. It's going to come out in that, because that's what we live with. And I invite you all, if you are on a similar path, to start, as you're guided, sit back and look at that. Because we have to live, especially when it comes to the connections that we're choosing to, beyond just going to the store. I'm talking about connections that we're allowing to be in our inner circle. So it goes beyond, we have to live with these individuals on some level beyond the Sunday service, sermon, and the crying at the altar. Beyond going to the Reiki Center for a session because we pretending like we waking up and ascending. Beyond all of these labels that we slap on to make ourselves feel deep and special. It's character. How do you treat me? My stance is, things will be a lot simpler for human beings if we simply learned how to evaluate people based on that and not no goddamn label. And no goddamn list of rules and regulations. I know, it kind of sounds very similar to Martin Luther King's, speech, but I'm not meaning it to be, where he said, by the content of their character. And what he was essentially saying is how I treat you, not the rumors you hear around the town from some other Joe Schmo that's chances are jealous and wanting to be in your spot. But the content of a person's character, how they treat you, not how the jealous hyenas That's my stance. That has simplified my life, because I've seen, like I said, I've seen people sit across from me in different arenas at different places and times, that you could tell because they want to bring up the conversation of religion and politics and all these things. So you can already tell they have a level of pretension in there, like thinking that it makes them somehow better or superior or more right. And it's like, fuck that, because at the end of the day, how are you treating that individual that's across from the table? Let's simplify that. Are you holding some judgmental pretension in your mind based on your limited framework? To hell with the routine. To hell with that. How do you treat people? My stance is it's always about the basics. The simple basics. What is my interaction with the person? Not with the 12 holes that want to be in that spot, but what is my interaction with the actual person outside of any external influence? How do they treat me? That's what I base things on. How do they treat me? What is the pattern they have established with me? What have they revealed to me? Not with what all the motherfuckers, because guess what? That can get tricky. It can get very, very dicey. Because everybody's got a history. Everybody's got a past, you see. And it gets very convenient for those that are trying to convince other motherfuckers to go in their direction to try to use that. So that's why my stance is get back to the damn basics. Get back to what fucking matters. Because half of the motherfuckers in all these arenas, I promise you, everything is not quite as it seems. This is why it helps us when we reduce it, when we just remove all of that fluffy shit out the way. All of these labels and groups and shit, bitch, and all. I'm of the 12th, 13th chapter of the 15,000 best Americas. Oh shit! When we remove all of that. And then sit quiet. And really look at how an individual treated you personally outside of outside influence. So when you reduce it to that kind of stuff, that's the stuff that matters, because that's the stuff that you go home with every day. If this is going to be a friend, if this is going to be a roommate, if this is going to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about people we're choosing to have some type of a close proximity. That's the stuff you're going to sit with. You ain't going to sit with the hallelujah and singing a song, bitch. It ain't going to be with the sage bundle, bitch. It's going to be regular. And quite frankly, none of that stuff matters. It started to turn into confusion and a little bit cognitive dissonance, because it's like, even if you're doing all of that external stuff, the motherfucker is still It becomes things that make you go, It's like, what is all that for? Is it just some form of trying to control some more shit? Like, moving all that out the way. How do they treat you? How do they treat me? Not our uniforms. Like I told you guys, I've gone on I should say a date. I've gone on a date by choice, right? A date. I've gone on a date. Okay, don't laugh. Whatever. This has been on purpose. But I've gone on a date since I've gotten out of Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay? Which is Las Vegas, Nevada for me. When you guys hear me say Sodom, I'm referring to Las Vegas, Nevada. So I've gone on one date, and I like that I'm able to start bringing all of this stuff in, because this is how you know that you're not just living in theory on a screen versus this is actually your life. So I've sat with people. I've sat with a person on a date. And everybody has on their uniform. It's something I've learned. You go on a first date, okay? Somebody think you cute. They saw you after the stole and shit, bitch. They, you know, y'all know how it go. Cause I'm telling y'all, that's how Bloomy shit rolling now, okay? Bloomy, she be in her Claretha Kent most of the time, and they'll still ask, okay? They'll still ask. I'll be all sweaty, yoga pants on, hats and shit. Ain't nothing, there don't be nothing fanciful about it. But they still ask anyway. So I went. But what I watched, and I was glad I was able to just sit, and I was still nice, and it was still polite, and it was still a decent little exchange, but I was observing. We all have our representative. We go out, you know, on a date, and then everybody want to bring up the topics, either politics, which they say is a no-no for dating, but I guess people do it anyway. So, you know, the topics, politics, and religion. And I smiled because, see, at first I used to be uncomfortable, but now I think I've just gotten to a point where I don't care. And so I just sit there all politely, smiling. And when it's my turn, when I'm granted a turn, if they, you know, when I'm asked or they mention something, I'll say my stance, which is what I'm saying to you all right here. Oddly enough, I'll say something along the lines of, you know what? And it'll be in a very kind of cool, datey kind of way, so it doesn't feel like I'm teaching and shit. But I'll say something. I'll say something like, well, you know what? For me personally, I don't have any bent. I'm not even really interested in all that because I've seen the good and the bad in almost every arena. I'll say something like that. And that I'm about how folks treat individuals, the heart and the soul and the character of a person, and how they treat me and others. And simply, that's it. Because that's the person I have to go on the dates with. That's the person, if it gets there, if it gets to the part where, you know, we're doing the adult tango, then, and see, because I learned some lessons about that, so I'm not fast and loose anymore about that. It's like, nah, I'm kind of prized my whole get up now, motherfucker. So, so it's like, I'm sorry. Because, you know, when everybody's being young, and it's like, okay, but Bloomy's up there, okay? So I'm looking at that, y'all. But see, guess what? That's my stance on everything. Not even just like with a potential, right? That's my stance on everything. Because look, I don't even want to be your damn friend, bitch. I don't, look. Because if you, like Martin Luther King said, the content, their character. And now I'm talking about perfection. That's not what I mean when I'm using that. I don't even think that's what most are really saying, even though it could be being implied that way. Character, heart, intention, That's everything. Motive, intention, vibration. People got to wake up and get this. That's everything. That's the make or break of everything. People try to pretend innocent intention, but it's a different frequency. You will see it. You will feel it. I told y'all, Bloomy done been around. Bloomy lived. And I've been exposed to diversity. I've been in the organized religious arena, from the small town storefront to the megas. I know some that are big and known, for that matter. And I know things, which has led in part to why I'm more about heart and character than I am anything anymore. because I've seen people in both arenas, the religious and the spiritual sector. I got stories from both sides where I've seen individuals, they have all of the external. Okay, so case in point, if it's on the religious side, you know, they got the church bitch, they got the congregation motherfuckers, they got, you know what I'm saying, they wrote 12 books, motherfucker, and they, you know what I'm saying, they got all the accolades, you know what I'm saying, whoa, but I seen them do some fucked up shit. I've seen them same people talk behind the backs of their own congregation. I've seen those same individuals have, you know, flirtatious things with motherfuckers. You wouldn't know it though. Yeah, they'll do a lot. They have the community, you know, basket, you know, team. We sending tacos, bitch, to the people in the community. You know what I'm saying? Like they have all that stuff going on. But I've seen some shit. I've seen favoritism, nepotism, all day, all day, all day. I've seen the religious narcissism, downright abuse. Downright abuse. Word cursing, speaking down upon a negative on somebody because they're different than you. Low key, you're jealous of. Yeah, I've seen that. In the spiritual arena, likewise, I've seen it over there. See, this is why my stance is where I've mentioned before. I've seen it in the spiritual arena too, so it ain't biased. In spite of what people may be saying, it's actually not biased. It's on both sides. I've seen in the spiritual arena spiritual narcissism because they are the master of masters. Reiki of America. Reader of readers. Mediums of mediums. But yet do ritual work on their people to stagnate them. Triggered by people who's got a powerful ass energy. And stalk and steal from them. Lie on them. So this is why my stance is as it is. Because that's the lesson. That was my lesson. It was a part of one of my soul's growth lessons to figure this shit out this lifetime. That it's never been about that. And that you're going to always have light and dark no matter where you go in any arena, no matter what the belief system is and what the label is, because it's never about that. It's an illusion. It's the external. This is why it's about character, heart, frequency, vibration. Are you a fucking decent human being? Can you be a fucking decent human being to individuals who are different than you? Outside of the photo op so you can look wonderful because you gave the whole under the freeway a taco. Can you have honor and respect as if it were yourself? That's the test for me. That's my stance. That spiritual egotism where people get their damn chonies in the bunch because, oh God forbid the motherfucker have some gifts, bitch. Oh my God. They're going to take away, there it is, fear. because I must be the one that they praise. One thing about shit, doing shit, was happy with a little storefront, little center, until Goddess so and so walks in looking for a refreshing, just on chill status because she done dealt with some lunatics, bitch. And here they go, because they can smell the divinity. And now here they go, full throttle. Ooh, that's the harvest. What? It's over. But see, again, I'm digressing a little bit, but my point, my stance is actually neutral. I make jokes and say, I'm Switzerland. But what I really mean by that is that if you are a decent human and operate in love and light and honor and respect to humans, then that's it and that's all. It's a program in itself that makes us feel and believe that things has to be exactly the same in order for it to jive. Martin Luther King Jr. didn't say that. I mean, his drive is a little different than mine, but I get where he was going. He said, not by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. So he was talking about the racism, of course. But then other parts of the dream speech, he was talking about, background, religious beliefs. He kind of brought up different things throughout that entire speech. And that's essentially it. Okay, are you human, motherfucker? Treating others as you would want to be. People quote it, but they don't be it. They do quote it though. They quote it good and plenty. It's on the back of their card. Because everybody wants to be treated with love, honor, and respect. If we were to simplify all this stuff and take away all of the illusionary shit, the fluffy and the this and this side that, and the Republicans and the Democrats and the fucking, oh man. Woo, the games, boy, of the 3D. Well, I'm the best black woman in America. I'm the best, woo, and I'm gonna be the okay. But what the fuck does that have to do with love, honor, and respect for life? Because if you that motherfucker, you're gonna be that motherfucker. All right, you're not gonna have to reduce yourself to fuckery towards others in order to be. Ooh, damn, that one hit one. That one right there hit. Wow. When we go back basic like that, it simplifies everything. We don't have to get 12 readings. We don't have to go to 12 masters. We don't have to go to 12 church services, bitch. When we reduce shit to the basics, remove the external hyenas and all those outer voices that plays a role in keeping us in energies of learning that, spell work plays a role in a lot of things, that has also helped me a lot to see and to make sense of a lot of things. But it's still only further reiterating why this is my stance too. Because you always have that at play. You always have the environment, whatever's in your surrounding you, or depending on what you're working through within your own programming and conditioning and your friends group and this and that and this and this and that. So it's like grown up food, is unlike the shows we see on TV, you guys. And I like you all, I love a good sitcom. It gets me going. It gets me laughing, boy. I tell you, it'd be fun and it'd be funny. But sometimes when I look at it and my guidance kick in, it also shows me the conditioning and the programming of why we think certain things are normal. Because they turn dysfunctionality into something funny and something, normalized. Though I can enjoy the good laugh, but when it comes to, I'd be like, yeah, that's a part of the problem. Group control. Now none of these motherfuckers can't think for themselves. They old ass. That's why I be something when I'm looking at the shit. It's like that dependency that looks like everybody is so independent, but it's a dependency kind of shit. Because can't nobody manage to think on their own. Which is what they call the narcissistic hive, 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 like a beehive, hive mentality. When we transcend and allow ourselves to heal out of that or through that, and take an honest stance of reduce it to the simple things in life, take it down. To hell with their 6-figure income, to hell with their cosmetic surgery, to hell with their fancy cars and houses, to hell with their labels, to hell that they got a trillion billion members and followers and subscribers, to hell with they got a bomb ass wig, to hell with they got pecs out of this world, to hell with all that. Reduce it to the simplest terms. You and them. When you sit with them, when you're with them, outside of all this fuckery, that's what I'm talking about. Who are they? Who are they outside of their posse? Who are they outside of y'all's last con scheme, bitch? Who are they to you? How are they treating you? What is the energy you feel outside of fucking eating tater chips and getting high? Who are they? What do you sense outside of the fake saved and fake sage bundle fucking circle? Outside of the fuckery. Outside of, look at all these rumors surrounding me every day. I just need some time to get away. Oh, from all these rumors, I can't take it no more. Your best friend and your mama and the rest of them are lying whores. This is why it serves us. We can, but it just doesn't serve us to want to believe that people don't operate from their own y'all know what I'm trying to say. No matter what arena they're in, no matter what their background is, we can't pretend. It doesn't serve us to pretend anyway. That people aren't haters. We see a million posts on all of these various social medias that most of us is on most of the time, and yet we act oblivious to the reality that chances are, especially if we know we came from some fucked up shit, you probably got your nice little group of motherfuckers in that energy. This is why that doesn't serve. It's a high school mentality. It's a group mentality. Because people always have their own ulterior motives. They always have their own bent. And they will just cleverly try to disguise it under some form of a spirituality and religion. This is why my stance on it is this. I'm not impressed by none of that. I want to see how you gonna treat me. I don't care if you got, I don't care. I don't care. I want to see. You can have you 4 businesses, bitch. You get, motherfucker. I want to see how you talk to me. I want to see what those nonverbal cues are going to be, because communication is also 85%. It's 85% nonverbal. So not just the shit that's said, though that's important, but also body language, tone, what's not said. I wants to see how you treat me. Because you can be the deacon, the 12th deacon of the deacon board of the 5th power and the 13th, and you could be the head singer of all singers, and you could be the head master of the group and the Reiki center. I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Can have licensure as a psychic on this place in this city in this state. Not impressed. I'm impressed by how individuals treat me, the energy, their energy, their energy. Not their fake sweet. Again, you guys, because that is what counts. In connections, that is what counts. Because let me ask you something. Let me just say this. What good is it if there are all these things, and this is somebody they're trying to get to know as a friend, let's say for the more personal reasons. Let's say, okay, it's somebody you're trying to get to know as a friend, or somebody that you're trying to date, or whatever. Let's bring it to that arena. Right? But what good, ask yourself, what good is it for me to know by way of their words and conversations to me that they are of this belief system or of that belief system or of this spirituality and of that spirituality, if the way our interaction, their vibration to me, their attitude towards me is shitty, or they're inconsistent, or they come off as rude or pretentious, or you know what I'm saying? So then ask yourself, so then what does that serve you then? I mean, what has that really accomplished for you? Because true, in my esteem of true spirituality or believing in something outside of yourself, however you want to verbalize that and equate that, is equal to what I'm talking about. Not these labels and clout and stat and stuff and money and licenses and certificates, and it's not equated to that. It's equated to the basics. Because true love frequency is going to behave in divine nature to the full extent possible, even when there is a difference until violated. Because once violated, it is ferocious. It's ferocious. Because when people step into their so-called belief systems or their spirituality, feeling like that gives them a title, right, and position to project based on their own framework, and in most cases, envy and jealousy and insecurity. So then you're going to see fury. Absolutely. You'll see divine in a furious nature, divine energy in a furious nature, because there is a violation. But outside of that, whether agreed upon or understood or shared the same view or value or not, there will be no violations there. There will be no attempts to dismantle or degrade or discredit, or because you're not driven by that. It's ego. There's a difference between standing up for yourself versus I just want to look a certain way and I have to make sure I do it and I'm gonna blah blah blah. That's ego. So ask yourself, you guys, if you feel guided, if you're on this path, of course, because another thing about my stance is I don't believe that no one has right to push. That pushing energy is a repellent to me. No one has a right to push and demand, or that or else energy. I'm gonna punish. You're gonna punish yourself. Is what you're gonna do before it's over with. Nobody has a right to do that on another person's life. That's the stuff I honestly, to be honest, these are the things I look at. Whether I'm looking at a person that's in a similar industry as myself, or if I'm looking at someone that's in the religious sector, if I'm looking at, just regular Joe Schmo at the, at the dollar store or wherever. I don't care. I'm not impressed by any of that. I'm looking at the content of how folks treat people. If they're snooty patooties thinking that they're better than because they go to the 12th church of the last hour in the 13th chapter. You know what I'm saying? Or, all that stuff. And I'm like, but you're an egomaniac though. So you done messed up already. So you might as well not even have this conversation, bitch. Because you wanted to talk about this, but you're an egomaniac. That's not work. It's not impressive. Yogis that master, yogis, if you do your research on yogis, the ones that master and go through that process, you're going to see a trend. They've mastered masculine and feminine energy within themselves, first and foremost, so they ain't no damn Fred Flintstone egomaniac. But not only that, you'll just see a different energy and frequency about them. And see, and that's the kind of stuff I look at, whether it's men or women, to be frank. That pretension energy is a turnoff. And I don't care. They can be honey. They can be as fine as wine, pecked out. They can have dollars coming out their asshole when they shit. But it's still a repellent to me. It's, do you see divinity in humans? And do you respect it and appreciate it and see value in people and know how to be kind and decent, period, without needing to get a payout, without needing to... Jesus Christ, man. And they exist. I'm not saying that it don't, because I've encountered the good shit as well. But I'm just simply highlighting my stance and where it came from and why. And it's made my life simpler, because it's like, yeah, as soon as people start talking about it, I just watch them. I listen. I watch. But I'm not impressed. I'm going to wait. I'm patient in that way. I'm going to wait to see what type of a consistent character they show me in terms of how we exchange, the things I hear them say about life, their approach to things. So I'm like watching all of that. And I'm going to always have a problem. That's going to always be me till I'm gone. And then it's going to be that, it's going to still be me when I'm gone, because I'm going to still be floating around doing shit. Probably causing hell for motherfuckers. But that's going to always be me. Who are you? How do you treat people? I'm going to always be watching that about folks. Looking at their attitude, looking at their mannerisms. I'm going to be paying attention to what they talk about the most, because it's a telltale sign. I'm telling you guys, I'm giving y'all some tips and tricks. It's a telltale sign, I'm telling you. I learned this. It's a telltale sign, motherfucker. I will always have a problem with people who have a problem. I'm going to always have a problem with people who have a problem with liberty and freedom and justice for all. I'll put it that way. Any individuals that feel like, in their own disillusioned state, that they have a right to be all up in the get up. Yup, that's my stance. And I don't care who they are and their group, their label, their posse, their whatever. I also have a problem with people who target vulnerable populations. You'll always hear hellfire come out of me with that, because those to me are very weak and cowardly individuals. Because that's not liberty and freedom and justice for all. That is no way liberty and freedom and justice for the vulnerable populations, disabled communities, whatever the situation. I feel like it's cowardly people who do it, which are usually narcs. I'm going to always have a personal, that's personal for me. but want to go smiling and photo ops. I especially have an issue with them. Oh God, yeah. That wants to be talking about some singing a song, bitch. And, I'm like, oh no. No, 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 no. While plotting things on motherfuckers and then want to pretend I'm going, oh shit, get up at the funeral and shit. Oh, motherfucker. Rehearsing the funeral and shit. Really? Have a problem with those motherfuckers. Because they go about, those be the main ones going about singing songs and crying and praying and holding crosses and sage bundles and shit to get people off the tip. This is why it serves us to get past that stuff and take it back down. Because when we keep it on those things, this is why we get caught up in it. Because you can be tricked. If things have to have a certain label and you're basing things on labels and you go for something because of a label and then you wake up one day and surprise, this is why it serves us to get out of there, get out of there, get out of there, and stop talking to the 12 dizzy friends. Get out of there. Crabs in the bucket. Do your research on crabs in the bucket. Because most of us are surrounded by crabs in a bucket via our family, friends, co-workers, bosses, clergy, neighborhoods, depending on the neighborhoods. Most of us are surrounded by crabs in the bucket. And so anytime there's an individual who's liberating the crabs in the bucket, always try to pull that crab back in the bucket. This is equated to any area. It's equated to what I'm talking about here. How dare you want to get out of what we've been conditioned to be? How dare you want to get out of what I need and want you to be to serve me so I can look a certain way? How dare you not be the victim I need you to be so I can look like the hero? How dare you not sacrifice your life and let me kill you so I can look like I'm the wonderful one that was always trying to, help the family? How dare you not fit the role of the scapegoat that you're supposed to fit? How dare you not let us beat you up and beat you down and go away and be quiet like a good little girl or like a good little boy? How dare you? Well, there's a new sheriff in town. Take it back to the basics. And I'll say this as it pertains to close and personal romantic relationships. Some of the things I'll say that I've learned most, kind of like wrapping it all up as I move forward, is it's It's beautiful, actually. It's simple, it's beautiful, and if people can grab it, then they'll eventually catch up to it. It is. It's actually simple and it's actually beautiful, but most just, it's just too convoluted to catch it. We get so stuck. I just uploaded a repost of my Respucia talk. My soul. What did I call it? Soul duped catfish. It was a catfish of the soul. Most of us, because of our programming, our conditioning, our trauma, and our pain, and our blah, 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 until we deal with it, we so stuck on the 3D, and the 3D is what fucked most of us up royally. From one to the next, 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 to the when we reduce it to the simplicity of things and get out of there, get out of the superficiality, the over hyper emphasis. I'm trying to specify it. Over hyper emphasis. Over hyper emphasis on these 3D things. Money, looks, shit, clout. Because these are the reasons why we get bamboozled. Bazinga. If we go back to the frequencies of dealing with people from the very basic level and our personal exchanges without needing the opinion of our 30,000 degenerate friends that has their own issues and frameworks that they work from, that they will be projecting onto you. When you go back there, it'll help you yourself, where you yourself won't feel so convoluted in the head. It's the too many cooks in the kitchen and the over excessive focus on the 3D that makes things very confusing. On top of spell work, on top of our own woundings. You see how all this shit gets? But if you take it down, boy, has this helped me. Man, I'll tell y'all what, I promise y'all, this has helped me. Because I ain't wasting a whole lot of time no more. Y'all may say, how? You may be asking, well, how? Because once upon a time, listen, once upon a time, I told y'all I have gone on one date since I've been out of Sodom. Okay? And again, I'm going to reiterate my choice. One date. And once upon a time, before I really grabbed that, once upon a time, first and foremost, I would have been in fucking overdrive like Bloomy is always. It's because Bloomy is going to go big or she going home. So I would have been in overdrive. All my little cutesy out boys, messages and, all the just extra. Way to the 12th power that the motherfucker don't deserve. Okay? It would have been too fast. I would have been all extra. I would have been carrying the whole shit. I would have been ignoring all of the little weirdities, and we'd have already been trying to be together, bitch. And then, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then I would have to go through this whole saga. Once upon a time, I would have pushed that one date. I wouldn't have done the grown-up steps because that person had to go through the friends. I took them through the thing I told y'all about on one of my other videos. I called it what did I call it? the friendship stress test or some shit. Yeah, it was something. But they had to see I changed my whole get up. I started dating differently than I used to. So it's not just talk. I actually became different. I literally became different. So I had to keep asking for help so that I stayed in neutral, that I didn't like, I wasn't thirsty. I wasn't trying to call and text them. Like I laid low and I kept it on a regular bitch. And then I mirrored their energy. That's another part of it. It's like mirror that shit. Because you ain't finna get no bomb diggity if you ain't bringing that bomb diggity, motherfucker. It's like I mirrored the level of interest. I mirrored if they didn't seem to be really putting, then I'll put back. If they seem to be extrally putting one day, then I reciprocated it. That's what I did. But when they seem to be, oh, you want to play? Then I was like, oh, see, I ain't like these hoes. See, folks find out real quick with me now. They find out real fast. Like, guess who's not afraid to sit alone because I'm not alone and because true completion is inside. It's that thirsty, desperate stuff that makes us go, yeah, that's another video. That's a whole nother video. So I took that, because before we went on the date, before we went on the actual date, okay, because, yeah, it was led up to a date. It wasn't right away. Yeah, that's how it happened. It wasn't the right away. We chit-chatted first. We met, right, in public, in Bloomy's ratchet attire, her yoga gear and shit, and her hat. And exchanged numbers, chatted a couple times. Oh, whoop, bitch, it was read a couple text messages, boom, And what I did, I'm just showing you all what I did and the lessons I've learned and how this is tying in. I didn't do what I used to do, but I was still nice. I was still fun. I was still me. I was still funny. I was still funny. I was still flirty. I was still jokey. I was still all those things that I am naturally, because that's who I am naturally. But I also mirrored the person's energy. I read the nonverbal cues. I read in between the lines. I picked up on subtle energies. I asked certain questions. I wasn't afraid to say certain things. But I was still fun, funny, flirty, all those things. And I took them through the friendship. It was a natural occurrence. It wasn't like manipulation. It was the friendship stress test. Okay. And they halfway passed. Like that person only halfway passed. And since they had only halfway passed, then I was like, okay. And so then they had another opportunity. So I started doing the things that I tell you guys about to see how it's going to play out. Right? For I could learn in practicality what I've been developing. And it's beautiful and amazing. And it saved me in this way because I didn't have to share no tear. I didn't have to be in no shit for no damn 6 months. I didn't have to be in no shit for no 3 months because I fucked him from every which way to Sunday. The first day I met him, I didn't have to do that shit because he wasn't getting shit. Because ain't nobody getting jack. If they don't pass the test. Oh, Bloomy ain't in her 20s no more. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I was like, cool. So then it was just dropped. That was it. It's over. Boom, done. And then blink twice about it. And I bet the person, because see, look, check. This is what some of these men be used to. At least, I don't want to get too deep into that, but you know, when you start picking up on these frequencies, they get used to women being thirsty and chasing them and calling them, and you know, because they got a house and they got a car and they got a business, and you know, because this COVID shit has made women, you know, if they're not healing and dealing, you know, they're really being thirsty. So men be thinking, you know, that oh they wish that, bet you that person was shocked. Bet. Like wow, damn. She didn't even call again. She didn't text. She didn't try to follow up. She didn't send nothing and say what's up, what's going on. No, because what I know is this: my energy and frequency is changing. So by default, some people are gonna fall off. And I also know the game. I'm not chasing nobody. An empress don't chase. A divine feminine don't chase. I'm not chasing. I know the game. You're a grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? With electronic devices. If you want to reach out, you do. If you want, and I ain't thirsty like that. Because where you ended, there could be another one. So it's like, come on, come on. But once upon a time, not so. And you guys may say, you know, the dating, yeah, because you still have to live. I know I'm on a twin flame journey. But you have to live. Now, the funny part is, after I went on that one date, low key, a part of me thought, I ain't gonna lie, there was a part of me, I was like, man, I think them one did that shit, man. He was like, nope. Send a message, make him go away, go away, go away. Right? But I was reminded about my dedication to my journey and my path. And it's like, I'm not, you know, I'm just living, you guys. I feel like we're supposed to have a full life. And I've already decided that for me, putting myself out there is more about uh, friendships, you know, learning how to reinforce those boundaries and friendships and, you know, things like that. Yeah, I'm very funny with myself now. I'm not fast and loose. Um, I'm looking for people who can establish friendships. If they can't even establish friendships with me, then they can basically forget about the goodies. Okay? They can kind of forget about that. There will, you know, my casual flingy days and all of that stuff, it's over. I have no interest in that. Um, so you know, I'm just testing things out in that way. And that's how it has saved me. Okay, you guys, I've reduced things to the basics, whether it is that I'm going out on a date or not. I've reduced everything to make it simple, and I base things on how people treat me. I don't need to know their religious lineage, and I don't need to know their, you know, spiritual this per se, because at the end of the day, it's about a frequency and vibration, and I'm going to be filling all of that out anyway. So not so much if they say, oh, I believe this and that, and I believe this and that. I'm going to be watching how does that correlate to how they're treating me beyond what they're trying to get out of dating me to begin with. Okay? All right, you guys. Happy Friday. I'm going to get going so I can go ahead and dig in these archives, hopefully. Watch a couple movies on chill status. Whoa. I hope y'all are all right. If you're the high vibers out there, those of you who are healing and recovering, love to you. Love and light, love and light, love and light. Right? Hope you're taking care of yourself and all that. I wanted to do some more healing sessions, but I'm not sure if I should. I want to for my collective, for my high vibes. I do. I really want to. But I got to talk to my guides because I don't want any karmic energy being able to benefit from it on no level. Nope. Whether it be by trying to copy it, trying to sell it, or even trying to get healing. It's like, how are you going to try to get healing from my energy and you violated me at the same time? The answer is no. Nope. Especially for the individuals who have not made any effort or intention to rectify their violations to me, then it's like, oh, especially no. You ain't getting no healing, nothing. I want it to go into the reverse, bitch. Okay? And get jacked. How are you going to want to... That baffles my mind. How the hell? You try to destroy a motherfucker, but you want the benefit of their energy, their healing? It's weird. Very weird. And the answer is no. Absolutely not. Told my guys, I'm like, nope. And all the stuff, I want that shit to go in reverse. I want it to turn into poison. Because you do not violate me and think you're going to get away with it for very long. All right, you guys. I'm out.